Kygo and I brought her on stage.
Oh my God.
During Stargazing.
That's really special.
Yeah, and she
God.
proposed to her husband, who said yes.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Jeez. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Clyde Confidential. Today I have my dear friend Justin Jesso, who is a very talented musician, on my couch with his two employees. I've got Julie Dawson, who is his head of social, and Dylan Owen, who is his chief of staff. So we've got a full house today. Hi guys.
Hi.
Thanks
What's
for
up?
having
Thank
us.
you for having us.
Oh my gosh, it's my pleasure. I'm so excited.
We're so
too.
excited. This is so much fun.
It's going to be very fun. And I think I get more excited, of course, when it's one of my friends who comes over, who I also have a working relationship with. So it's going to be good.
It's going to be good.
Okay, so you've got two on your team.
Well, there's a couple more, but these are well, I don't know who's going to see this. These are the ones I brought today. So I say these are the best ones.
Yeah, these are your day-to-day employees.
Yes, so I talk to them most every day. So Dylan is actually my college buddy and a fantastic artist himself. And he also has a lot of experience working as a label manager. He was the label manager for Fat Mike.
Fat Mike.
I said Fat Joe on the way over here. I forgot my.
Come out of your mouth.
Fat somebody.
Punk rock world.
Yeah.
So Dylan is my chief of staff, and he has run a label before. He's run a bunch of fan communities before, including his own, because he's a fantastic artist. And I guess I just kind of missed you, man. And
I missed you too,
we used
man.
to hang out all the time in college, and then
we saw each other downtown at Jones on 3rd.
Oh yeah, that's how
and
it
then,
happened.
Jones
and we
on
had
3rd.
we've been hanging out and stuff, but then I was looking for a new artist to kind of like get involved with because I was like looking for something new with the new year and everything, and it just worked out. It was like serendipitous timing.
Yeah.
You had just launched your label, so
So I was in the process of launching my label and figuring out how I wanted to run it. So it felt kind of like a sign because I ran into him and I had just started interviewing people. I started this process with a friend of mine named Rajesh, and Rajesh is a C-suite executive over at Ogilvy, and he has been a bit of a mentor in helping me get my head around just general marketing practices and how to employ that across my label and, try to think outside the box. And he was the one who actually helped me find Julie. He originally helped me source people to help staff the project that I was starting with the label. So that's how I came across Julie, and she is freaking awesome. She's literally the best. And she's my head of social. She basically is in charge of anything that happens on social media and
Production too.
And production as well. And I feel like she's a better version of my brain where she'll like,
That's so sweet.
Very
no,
sweet.
because you'll like think
Ew.
of things before, even when, so we have another team that we've hired that does ideation and shooting and posting, and we'll be going through the edits together, and I'll send it to her first to go over, and she'll hit me with notes, and I'll be like, that's exactly what I was thinking, but better articulated.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the page has been looking pretty good. Do you also do his personal?
Yeah.
Yeah, everything.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the way that we're set up across socials at the moment is she's in charge of everything. We have another team that has probably half of the things that you see on social, they've shot and edited and posted through her guidance.
Cool.
And then the other half, she's actually across, and Dylan's across some of this as well, where, we'll get together probably once a week or once every 2 weeks and do a whole shoot day, just us, getting additional content.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And do you also go on tour with Justin?
Manifesting that.
Okay.
So.
We
Not yet.
We
Not
haven't
yet.
gotten there yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's doing all your content on tour? Do you have a tour PA or a tour person who helps you?
When I go out myself, which I haven't mounted a tour yet since I've had these guys, then we would discuss who comes and what that role looks like. When I'm out with Kygo, which is my day job,
Right.
for those of you who don't know on the pod,
Yeah.
I started my career as a songwriter. Always wanted to be an artist. Wrote a song called Stargazing. Got placed on a DJ named Kygo, and that was about 8 years ago. The song blew up. I became an artist, and my day job for the past 8 years, which very rarely happens during the day, is being with Kygo and singing those songs all over the world.
How did that happen? You just said you got placed with a DJ named Kygo in the most
Yeah.
casual way.
It's my buddy, Kygo. I wrote the song. I was in a session, and I wrote the song called Stargazing with a couple of friends of mine. And we wrote it on a Monday. On Tuesday, it was sent to Kygo through my publisher.
Wow.
On Wednesday, we had a version back. And by Friday, it was a confirmed single.
That's crazy.
And then it came out 2 months later. It was the fastest thing ever.
I was just going to say, is that normal? That
No.
feels very quick.
Very quick. Yeah, the label tried to put different artists on it. It was actually Kygo who stood up to the label and said, no, I want Justin's voice on it. He wrote it. That's authentic, and that's the music I want to put out.
Wow.
So I owe him a lot.
Our king.
Our king. Kygo, our king. Yeah.
And when was that? That was 2000.
That was 2000 and I was about to say 2008. Like, that's way too early.
That's
that was
I was thinking I don't know why I thought 2008.
right?
Because,
Everything great happened in 2008.
yeah, I feel like music also back then, it was like the peak of DJs. Like that would have made sense in my brain. So
That was when I graduated high school. It was
Same.
2008.
I was in high school in 2000. I'm not going to tell you what
Good
year.
for you.
But
Good for you. No, it's been about 8 years, and that's my day. I call it my day job, which
Yeah.
is touring the world with Kygo. And I was just in Bangkok, and we just did a South America run, and I really do get to go all over the world, which is a lot of fun.
so sick.
Yeah.
So sick. So when you're on tour with him, you don't just perform Stargazing, you sing other
I
songs.
sing
with
other
him.
songs too. Yeah.
How did you transition from that one song to a bunch of songs with him?
Someone got sick.
Oh,
Someone got sick, and I got a frantic phone call.
did we
from
poison his
management.
drink? What happened?
No, I didn't. No, and he's fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
his version of Firestone, Conrad Sewell, he's an insane entertainer. He is so good. And there was one day where, unfortunately, he got sick. And I actually didn't tell them that I was sick as well. But I just had a cold. They called me, and they were like, because that's the closing number, right? And we do it with an orchestra, and it's a lot of fun. It's very big. And I got a frantic call from management being like, hey, he can't do it. Like, do you know the song? And I was like, I didn't know the song. I knew it,
Right.
but I didn't know it like confidently enough to perform it that night.
Right.
And I just said, yeah, sure. And so he's like, okay, great, you're doing it. I'm like, okay, fine. So then I got on stage that night and I did it, and
And you crushed.
And yeah, and they were like, that was pretty good.
Fake it till you make it, baby.
Fake it till you make it. And then Conrad is a very successful artist in his own right, and he ended up doing some other things, and then they asked me to come in and sing that song, and so I said sure. And then we also do a song called Fragile, which was originally Labyrinth, that I also love because it's a really fun showpiece, and we generally do that when it's a Kygo show as opposed to a festival.
Cool.
So that's the that's the nitty gritty of how
So
that
you'll
all
go
happens.
on tour with Kygo, and then you go to all the Palm Tree Crew festivals with him as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I go. Whenever they call me, I'm there.
Yeah.
I've probably done most of the shows over the last 8 years.
So cool.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you.
Yeah,
And
it's
that's how
fun.
it started.
And that gave me my career as an artist. And then I signed to Sony and released a bunch of records that did really well on radio, particularly in Europe. And then I toured, and then the pandemic hit.
Yep.
And then I toured again, and then my deal with Sony ended, and I bounced around to a couple of other little label entities, and then decided to take the reins myself. And at the top of this year, I said, okay, I'm going to start to figure out all of the things that I loved about my experiences with major labels, minor labels, indie labels, and swirl that into how I would do it. And I felt like it was time to take the reins myself. So I did a distribution deal and said, okay, how do we create my own team and run this the way I want to run it? Because inevitably, as I'm sure you know, when you're working with other partners, you have to do it in a way that works for both of you, in a way that sometimes they dictate, especially if they're the ones that are holding the purse strings.
Right.
And I wanted to really get out from under that and start to build it in the way that I thought it would translate best for the rest of my career. So that's why I ended up doing it the way I did it. And that's how I found these guys.
What was your thought process like when you had the moment of, okay, I'm going to make a switch. I need to start from scratch-ish with a new team?
Yeah, I mean, it feels in a way like scratch. You know, I think my thought process was I wanted to find a way. I think my thought process was twofold. The first thing is that the industry is shifting, right? So I had been offered distribution deals before, and quite frankly, deals for a lot more money that I turned down because I didn't feel like going the distro route made sense at the time. That it felt too independent when I was looking at the landscape, even though people were saying this was a way to go. When you looked at the landscape of the music industry 2 or 3 years ago, there were really only a handful of names that had broken through that story, and everybody else was signed to a major label. And today, that's just not the case. And we have major stars, we have minor stars, we have people that are up and coming that are self-distributed, and it's allowed them, you know, someone like Ray, to take the reins into her own hands. I mean, she and I have a slightly similar story where for her, she was signed to a major and she was doing well in kind of the pop EDM space, and that's what she was known for. And she had all of this music that she loved, that she wanted to release, but the label kind of went, that's not what we see for you. And you're doing this and this is working over here, so keep doing that.
Interesting.
And that wasn't, you know, where her heart was. So she took a step back and started releasing the music that we now know her for. I mean, I don't even know if you associate Ray with the massive dance hits that she's had, but that's where she started.
Wow.
And, you know, I'm hoping that I have a bit of a similar trajectory where, you know, I've had my success in that lane, and the label wanted me to do one thing, and we did some of that, but ultimately, you know, I have other music that I want to put out there, and maybe it's not, you know, the most commercial down the middle radio record, and, you know, traditionally they've always been scared of ballads. Every label I've ever been signed to is like, ooh, ballads are tough, Justin, and I fucking love ballads.
Yeah.
You know, so
now you have a little bit more freedom
so now I have freedom to do what I want. And you look, if it fails, it fails. That's fine. But especially in today's environment, I think it's less about the old model and the old way of doing things, which is, you know, release one single and push it for 6 to 8 months and try to get radio play and do all these things, and more about their at-bats. You build from the ground up, you build a community, and, you know, the music is, you keep swinging it out there every couple of weeks, and you never know when something's going to catch fire. So, you know, that's why I have Julie and Dylan, and they're looking at the numbers and looking at what's happening in the community and on socials and going, okay, what's moving the needle? And then that's a better way for us to think about how to move the needle forward for my career.
Right.
As opposed to doing it the old way.
And that's putting a lot of trust in these two, because you're no longer attached to a label and you're doing everything on your own. And that's new territory for you, right? So you want to make sure that you have a really bomb-ass team behind you.
Bomb-ass team.
Yes.
Yeah.
No pressure.
No pressure at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came through your old manager, remind me?
Rajesh.
Okay, Rajesh, yes. Okay.
Yes.
So I came to Justin as a referral through the agency.
Okay, we love a referral.
Me
Yeah,
too.
it's best.
Less work for me.
Yeah.
Seeking out clients.
Honestly, less work for everyone. Whenever I give a client a referral, it's music to their ears.
I've been very blessed where I just seem to attract the right people in my life. And so I got connected with Justin just before the holidays this last year. We had a meeting, and then we had a couple of phone calls, and then
I think I cried in our first meeting.
actually he did a little bit. You know, I mean,
I forgot what it was
really
about.
Sweet. I remember what it
Are
was
you crying
about
now? You're
because
tearing up.
I appreciated how open and vulnerable he was, and he was talking about, I think it was, I don't want to say her name, a fan who really was so moved by his music and just the way that Justin is able to connect with his fans. And, you know, I thought that was really special. I was like, you're in a safe space. It's okay. Just let it out.
So there is a story. I think she asked me, like, why do I do this? And, like, what about this is the most exciting? And
I was going to ask you that, so thank you for the
oh, great.
Thank you for the
great
layup.
So there's this there's these two stories that have really resonated with me over the years. But I've started collecting. I have a folder of it called Inspired by Music, and it's basically a folder of all of these DMs and texts that I get from people who listen to my music who have been genuinely affected by it. And I have people that say it's helped them get sober, and I have people that really have had life-changing events through my music. And I think the one I was telling you, where I teared up, which I'm gonna maybe not do this time, was there's this woman, and her name is Kendra, and she is a mom, and she has a 10-year-old, and her 10-year-old is autistic, and that child hadn't ever really been able to connect words and feelings. So like, she would say "I love you" to him, and he wouldn't know how to say it back, right? But he fell in love with a song of mine called 400 Trillion, which is about how there's a 1 in 400 trillion chance that we're alive today, and how beautiful that is. And so he loved it because of the numbers, right? He could get his head around the numbers, and he asked his mom what it meant, and she said, "There's a 1 in a 400 trillion chance that you're alive today, and that's really beautiful. So when you find people that you love, you should cherish that and tell them that you love them." And he looked up at his mom and for the first time said, "I love you, Mom." Uh-huh. And so she wrote me this letter about how this had happened. And it's moments like that make me love what I do. And funnily enough, that that song 400 Trillion didn't even do much. Like it was, it wasn't a grand success as a single. And
but that's a success right there.
But that's the success.
Yeah.
The success is the idea that it reached the person that it was supposed to reach.
Yeah.
And did I cry telling that story? Or was it a different story?
No, it was that one.
It was that one. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I do what I do, and that's what's the most exciting is being able to really impact people in their lives through music. And
I love that you guys went there on your first interview. That obviously meant that you
I had a lot
felt
of coffee.
comfortable to share that with her, and that there was an instant connection, because I think most bosses wouldn't go in like that unless they were like, okay, we're probably going to work together. Let me share this. Or she seems like a safe space and I'm going to be vulnerable for a second. Right?
So to be completely honest, I think
You're
it's
like,
just me.
I just had too much
No,
coffee.
I think it's just me being an idiot. You were my first
I ask
interview.
a lot of questions.
Good.
Yeah.
Deep ones. But he's just open and available to just let it out.
When you're interviewing, what are some questions that you asked him? Or I think this actually would be helpful for some folks listening.
Yeah, well, I think having a very clear idea of what it is that you want to get across on your platforms, like who do you see yourself as an artist, is huge. And like creating a branding strategy from that. How do you want people to perceive you? And so just kind of starting there, and like what is it that you really want to get out of your socials? Because I feel like so many people will try and chase trends and they're not really in their authenticity. But in my opinion, and from what I've seen over the years working with clients, anyone who is really in their genuine authenticity, they skyrocket because you're attracting the right people to you. So I just like some questions like that.
I mean, this guy is very authentic, so it makes your job easy, right?
Oh, definitely. And I appreciate that he's so open and willing to do like concepts. Like if you went to his page today, he's like sliding into the bathroom like Risky Business. Tom Cruise is in his underwear. So
Was that what we
watch
posted
it.
today?
Yeah, we posted that one.
How's that one doing?
It's actually performing really well.
Oh,
so
great.
I suggest
Okay.
you check it out if you want to see Justin in his underwear.
They're like,
I love it. Do you come up with all these bits for him, or is it
Not
like a
all of them.
mutual?
No, not all of them.
Who
comes
thought
up
of
with a
that
lot of
one?
that one? What? Well,
But I did say you should
do it in your underwear.
I
So
did
you
say
did
that.
put the Risky Business. So we have this other team that we've and he's like, "No, Justin, don't show the underwear."
You vetoed it?
No.
Well, he did. Wait.
I've
He
learned-
did veto one idea.
I've known Justin long enough that
Dylan's
like,
too quiet in the corner. He's like,
well, I have a lot to say about the artist stuff, but I've known Justin long enough that like you can't restrain this guy. Like he's gonna be himself and like do and show who he is on camera. Yeah.
Yeah. No, so we had a team that came up with the ideation of doing something in the bathroom, because they did pull I have this other team that pulls trends and then tries to funnel them through like a brand, like my brand lens. So we found this is working over here. Let's reinterpolate that for you. And it was Julie who added
It's like,
on
this looks
the-
like Tom Cruise in Risky Business. Are you open to being in your underwear?
Yeah.
Do you have a button-down shirt?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, let's
Yeah.
do it.
They
And I'm
Never
said-
thought
like,
you'd
yeah,
ask.
let's go.
Thought you'd
Yeah.
never ask.
They said do this, and my employee Julie said take your pants off, and I said sure. So that's how we got there. Yeah, we don't have an HR person. Who would
Elvis is
HR.
He approves.
Elvis approves.
Your dog is so chill. I can't get over it.
Yeah, he's employee of the month.
How old is he again?
He's 14.
That's nuts. He is.
know.
He's like such a sophisticated sir.
I know. I pulled 14
He can come
teeth.
over anytime.
You want to come? You want to be here?
Does
you
he
want
go
to
on
come
tour
to the
with you?
Grimmy house? Sometimes.
Sometimes?
Usually not. It's usually he stays with Julie
Oh,
when I go on
that's
tour.
So
yeah.
sweet.
I spoil
Yeah.
him.
Oh.
And Dylan's watched him once.
It was
But
great.
Dylan couldn't watch him last time because he said he had to watch his fiance instead.
Oh.
Because I'm really sorry I can't watch Elvis. I have to watch Melina.
Oh.
And I was like,
Got it.
I had to spend some time with her. Yeah.
which I thought was
Just
very funny.
threw him under the.
No, it's great. It was very funny.
Outtakes.
Outtakes.
Yes.
It's going in. You can't edit it. It's going in.
We can't get Dylan in trouble. We
Well,
gotta figure
Dylan.
out,
So
okay?
Dylan's so funny. I wish we had the footage, but we shot something a couple of days ago where it's a video where I'm throwing a ball behind me to somebody, and the idea is like the ball is in slow mo, but I'm lip singing the song, and the ball is supposed to be caught by someone behind me with a pan, and he was like, "Bro, that's really lame. I'm not doing that." That's a
Because
hat on a
well,
hat."
they wanted me to stand with a pan and catch it, and like the idea is supposed to be like a ball into a basketball hoop. So it's like now we're like one step away from that. We're throwing a ball into a pan, you know?
Right.
And then I'm like standing in the street. Like it was just like too many.
Too much for you.
Somebody on set used the expression like a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
Like it's like
Yeah.
too many jokes stuffed into one joke. And I was like, yeah, that's what I think
it's
about
healthy
it.
to have some different opinions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How often do you guys disagree or feel comfortable chiming in on things when you feel like it's not it?
Well, we ultimately just did the idea and told him he was wrong, and it turned out great.
Yeah.
I just didn't have to do it.
I
Somebody
just
else
didn't have to
did
do it. Somebody else did it.
Usually I'll give people my 2 cents. So
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of
So you guys are
sharing
both
that.
comfortable to give feedback.
Oh, yeah.
1,000%.
Yeah.
I feel
Good.
like the whole point of me like being involved in Justin's music is to like offer a counter opinion on things.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like he's already a confident performer. Like he doesn't need people to just say like good job or
Yeah.
whatever. It's like he needs to look at it.
I think
things
that's
a
very
different way.
important.
Yeah.
And we also don't need to be recycling trends that have happened like a
Mm-hmm.
bunch of times through other artists, which I mean, if it's working for an adjacent artist, that's not necessarily an incorrect strategy. If it's working, it's good to test it. But we also don't want to be like rinse and repeat and have him be doing the same content everybody else is doing.
Right. It
Right.
needs to be original
we want
and
him
unique.
to stick
and,
out
yeah.
and like break through all that noise and what
Right.
you can take a trend and maybe adapt it a little bit or coming up with different content. So
And I appreciate and welcome the differences of opinion. I mean, that's one of the reasons that I want them here, is because if I had all the answers, then I would have all the answers, but I don't.
Right. And I
So-
think having your internal team be the ones to give you those opinions that's important because I think everyone else you work with is probably just going to agree with you and
Yeah.
tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah,
but
to an
I
extent.
think to have people who are opinionated, who you really trust, and you obviously have such a great dynamic. Like I turn to my team all the time and ask them for feedback.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that bosses who ask for feedback are the best bosses, and it just helps you be better at your own job too.
Collaboration is such a big part of what it is to be a songwriter. And so it feels similar, like when I'm working on a song with a bunch of different writers in a room, we're trying to get the best for the song. And that's kind of how I feel with these guys. It's the same thing. It's a collaboration to get the best ideas across, to get the best strategies across, to figure out how to translate my brand on socials, to figure out how to streamline our processes. And one of the reasons that I love them is because they both have great ideas. I've also been given permission to tell you my nickname for Dylan, which has been the same nickname since college. It's not that crazy. It's just Dill Dill. But no one else is allowed to call him that, I guess, except for me.
I think maybe
Except for his boss.
my high school girlfriend and her friends would like call me Dill, but
Your
like,
high school, well,
high
it's
school
not
girlfriend
dildo.
and her friends. They
Oh,
would just
because
say
your last
Dill.
name is Owen. Got it.
Oh, it could be dildo.
Oh,
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that.
Cut. Not on the podcast. It's abuse. No, I like dildo.
That's cool.
Dill, dill, pickle.
Yeah, you're the only one who's got permission.
Okay, so you guys went to college together.
yeah, we
Yeah.
went to college together.
And then after college, you guys didn't see each other for a couple years, and then reconnected at Jones on Third.
Well, no,
Yes.
we were we
Yeah.
stayed friends for
Yeah,
a while. We would
yeah.
FaceTime
We've been
and
friends.
catch up. I would stay at his place when I came to LA.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
definitely friends. And I saw you on tour too with Kygo, like
Yeah.
when you played Barclays. And then I also saw you at Mercury. So we like stayed in touch both as like friends and artists. And then yeah, this year we're kind of like building this indie label thing. And I was thinking about it with like my philosophy since I've been like 14 years old has been like it takes a village to get music out into the world, and the end result, like what you want to happen, is like the story that Justin described with Kendra, like your music actually affecting somebody. Is that
Kendra being the mom.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the goal, right? And like maybe a major label artist with a huge operation behind them can have that more at scale or more of a volume of that, but like I think it's so rewarding to have that at all. So I've always been very DIY. I was releasing music like back on MySpace, and then during the SoundCloud era, like whatever. I've always been kind of direct to fan, you know, a believer in that model, like the Chance the Rapper model, let's call it. And yeah, and then it's just dope to me that Justin is like going this route now. And for me, it's like my bread and butter. Like this is the only way I really know how to do things. So I'm definitely the guy to help. Yeah.
It made a lot of sense when I was putting this together and kind of shifting my mindset from, okay, the old way of doing things, the label system way of doing things, you know, how do we reach as many people as broadly as possible, to how do we get really specific about, you know, who I am and how we move the needle forward person to person. And that's something that he's specialized in for years.
I think that makes sense in an early career of an artist, whether it's a musician or an actor, being associated with a big agency or a big label at the beginning. It's kind of necessary as you're getting yourself out in the world and putting music out. To have that blanket, I think, is very helpful. And just in terms of introducing you to people, and I think like that's necessary actually. And then when you're a little bit more established, it feels safer to go out and do something like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's also very interesting because I made an announcement the other day that I'm an independent artist, right? And it was a weird thing for me because it's like, I think because I'm really, really fortunate, I get to stand on some of the biggest stages in the world and sing songs that I've written. And I've gotten to do that for the past 8 years. And I've played Coachella, and I've played Madison Square Garden, and I've played Barclays, and I've played the Hollywood Bowl, and I'm on all these big stages. So I think people look at me and go, oh my God, like, he's so made it. He's so major. And like, that's amazing. But the truth is, at the same time, I'm really fighting this indie game of getting my music out there, getting my music heard. And, you know, it's this weird dichotomy of like figuring out how to translate, you know, yes, it's amazing. I'm so grateful for all these things that I get to do, but like, don't like pass me over and go, oh, well, he doesn't need the support, or he doesn't, you know, like take a second look at the music because, you know, I'm not as much as I am that's not all that I am. And there's more to offer than just that shiny, oh, he plays the Madison Square Gardens. And I want people to stop and take a look at the music that I'm putting out and the new things that I'm trying to say.
Instead of just stargazing, which they hear.
Right, which they hear all the time and go, oh, okay, well, this also resonates with me.
Yes.
And I think sometimes when you're looking at something that you think is, you know, has already gone, it's harder to feel like you're a part of that journey, right? And for me, I'm like, no, I need all of these people to be part of that journey, and I want to connect with them as deeply as possible. And that's authentically what we're trying to do. More Kendras.
More Kendras.
Yeah.
I
and
think
deeper
that's
Kendras.
so important they do that, and so special, because the reason why any artist makes it is because of fans, actually.
Yes. Yep.
So, that's
Oh,
a little
yeah.
bit.
So I started this series. It's called Behind the Curtain, where we, at the first of every month, or not, but the first Friday of every month, I'm doing a Zoom. And I'm basically allowing, I think we're going to do like up to 100 people.
Yeah.
But we might expand it. Last time we had about 100 RSVPs. People that have been following my journey for years to come into this private Zoom and for me to really explain to them what it is to be an independent artist. So I've introduced them to Julie. I've introduced them to Dylan. I tell them what they're working on. I tell them what we're working on. I play them music before it's out, obviously, and
amazing.
walk them through the plan of like, okay, we're releasing this here, and then we're doing this party, and then we're releasing that here, and then this is unannounced, but we're going to do these tour dates here, and I don't think there's another artist that's doing that.
I've never heard of an artist doing that, and I respect you so much for doing it and think it's amazing.
It's really cool, and it's been what's been very fun about it is there are people that then say, oh, I actually bought a ticket. I'm coming to see you in Kansas next week. I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And then those are the people that I know are kind of riding with me.
Those are the people that matter, honestly.
And those are the people that matter. So
Yeah,
I want to make sure
yeah.
that I'm hearing from them as to what they want from me and then incorporating that into my go forward plans as opposed to just dictating and doing it really the old model, which is like, okay, we're doing this, this, and this. Like, no, what can I do for you? What do you want? How can I
and just
influence
like
your life?
direct to the people, like
Yeah.
no nonsense, no kind of like workaround, like no middlemen, just like Justin on Zoom. Like it doesn't get more direct than that.
There's an artist fan reciprocity happening there.
That's fantastic.
Join us.
I will come on the next
It's
one.
very early.
I'm thinking it's like a live Substack. Some people send out a Substack and give updates, and you subscribe to emails, but you're just reading it. That is, and it's better than going live on Instagram. It's really it's like a direct. Yeah, it's a direct.
Yeah.
Justin's personally inviting them, like
So
especially
cool.
looking at who is engaging the most in his comments. So if you're watching this, start commenting. You'll get an invite from Justin if you want
Wow.
to join
Yeah.
behind
Has
the
Kendra
curtain.
come on?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Kendra came on early. Kendra was the first one in the
You should
Zoom.
do a segment with Kendra.
Yeah.
You should do like a reel with her and just talk about that. I mean, that story is so beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. It's there's a second one too that I'm going to say I love, but it's a crazy story. There was I do love the entirety of the story, but the beginning of it's very difficult. She was listening to Stargazing. She was on a run and she was attacked, and she couldn't listen to anything, let alone the song that was associated with the attack. And she did 9 months of rehab and therapy, and then the first outing that she went to was she came to my concert. And she actually bought a VIP ticket. And I didn't know this at the time, but, I hug people. And I went in to give her a hug. And she DM'd me afterwards and told me this story and said that I was the first man that she had let in her physical space bubble since the incident. And she couldn't listen to Stargazing, but she wanted to go and felt like this was the final moment of her healing, was hearing that song live. And then now she's able to re-listen to it and grow from it and have that be part of her story.
Wow.
She then, a couple of years later, we reconnected at a concert, and she had a boyfriend, and he wanted to propose to her. And she said, she had told the boyfriend that because of the incident, she would never be comfortable being proposed to. But she told me that because she felt like she had healed enough, she wanted to propose to him at my concert.
Boss.
And so I said to her, come do it on stage. So it was a Kygo show. Kygo and I brought her on stage.
Oh my God.
During
I have the
Stargazing. I have the video. I can show you the video.
That's really special.
Yeah, yeah. And
Oh my
she
God.
proposed to her husband, who said yes.
I hope so.
yeah.
Jeez.
Which is, it's just the craziest to be on this. The stories of the fans and the people who are affected by the music is so powerful.
It's
And to be
beautiful.
along on that ride is
You have the coolest
best.
job in that sense.
Yeah.
I mean, to also your authentic self engaging with your fans. Not a lot of people do that, and I think when you connect on that sort of deep level, you're never going to forget that. Like, they also change your life, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cute. Okay, I want to go back to Dylan for a second. What are you? Tell the audience if you don't mind. What are your like core responsibilities in Justin's strategy these days?
Well, it can kind of change day to day, I would say, but if I had to narrow it down, I would say anything like digital and label operations that's like just behind the scenes that maybe people don't see. Like, there's so much that an independent self-releasing artist needs to do, like so much, and there's so much admin stuff. So I kind of just lend a hand wherever I can with that, and then I'm also here as like a thought partner in anything, and then
Design.
and design, like even just knowing how to use like the Adobe suite and all that stuff, and knowing how to edit videos, like all that is really handy. And there's so much of that like boring admin type stuff that like I'm just used to doing it at this point because I've been doing it for myself for so many years, and now it has turned into like doing it for other artists. And yeah, some of it is just like a pain. Like, if you haven't done it before, how do I crop this photo to be like a perfect square when it's off by like 10 pixels or something, and make it like 300 pixels by 3,000 by 3,000.
The things that
so
we
like
don't want to think
the
about.
distributor,
Yes.
can upload it.
Yeah.
So this is just like getting in the weeds, I guess. So that's kind of, I would say, primary
Admin,
role is
design.
Yeah,
he
just
designed the last cover art. He designed the posters for the event I'm throwing tomorrow.
Email marketing.
all
yeah.
that stuff. Email
Amazing.
marketing, giving ideas for how to connect with fans, being like team support for, like, we have an event this weekend, a release party for Justin's single Ready to Blow that's coming out next week, by the way. And yeah, like just helping him with that. So kind of everything and anything. And I want to say this, that if you're listening to this and you don't work in music, you might not know that like running your own music operation, it's like running a startup of any kind. Like, it can be as expansive or, as amorphous as you want. So it's like, if we had 100 people who could work for us, we would find ways to keep them busy. So it's like there's no shortage of stuff to do. And yeah, I'm excited to just like see it grow and see where we can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Originally, was when trying to figure out what exactly Dylan's role was, I was like, okay, is it, head of the label? Is it, but that wasn't even expansive enough. There's so many special projects that Dylan ends up doing. So that was how we kind of settled on chief of staff.
Yeah. And like,
Touches a lot of things.
label, what I've done in the past, mostly for other artists, has been like label manager, technically, like on paper. But that doesn't really describe it well, because these have been small, independent, mostly like punk adjacent labels. So it's like pretty direct to the people. Like, we're talking about like a label like running off Bandcamp and stuff like that, or all the stuff with NoFX and Fat Mike and this band, The Co-Defendants, that I did. Like, we did not do anything by the book. Like, we did some crazy kind of like guerrilla marketing stuff. So label manager doesn't really put it in the right way. So it's a little more like, I would say, just kind of independent artist like support,
Very cool. Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
A dill of all trades.
Yes.
Oh God, that's a
yes.
horrible nickname. I'm so sorry.
Yes!
Horrible.
Yes!
Okay, but you guys were friends, so
We were
let's
friends.
touch on that,
Yeah,
because I
yeah.
feel like, I mean, from my personal experience, I know that I can't do that again. But
with your friends.
I-
Could we work together? We're friends. Could we work together? I feel like we could work
we
together.
could totally work together.
Yeah.
But I think it doesn't work for everyone. So why does it work for you guys?
Okay, I think I know why.
Oh,
it
okay.
works.
Why?
And the reason is like we're both such artists. Like, I'm a rapper. That's my
You're
thing.
a
like,
rapper?
First and
He's a
foremost.
rapper.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So
he's got
so
great
most
music.
people.
He released a
Come on
single
today.
today.
You're a rapper?
I'm a rapper. Yeah.
Wow, that just threw me off.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So
It threw my mom off too.
if
I love your mom.
She's the best.
Like,
she
it's
loves Dylan
So
too.
sweet.
if anyone like from my side listens into this, like, they know me as a rapper, right? But I've been very direct to fans, so it's like all of it kind of bleeds together, and that's how I've learned to like do anything, right? But the reason why I think we could work together as friends is because as friends, like, it's just who we are as humans. Like, we're artists, you know?
Sure, yeah.
And so we know each other and respect each other's work ethic and talent and ambition in that way. And that's how we were in college too. Like, it's kind of
We've always been championing each other.
the same conversations we have in a quote unquote work sense. Like, that's exactly the same conversation we have anyway. So it really is like, it's kind of we're both so similar, I think, in that way, that it's just what it is.
I don't know if you follow astrology, but Justin's
Girl.
a Gemini and he's a Libra, and they're destined best friends. So
Girl.
There we go.
we're all air.
Do I follow
elements. We all
astrology?
have air elements to us.
What are
all
you?
three of us.
I'm a Leo.
What does that mean?
Yes, a lot of fire energy. She can be the loudest in the room, but she can also sit back. Everyone loves Leos.
Okay.
That is a fact. Everyone
Says
knows.
the Leo.
Says
Yeah.
the Leo.
Yeah.
I told Justin when he first walked in here, I was hanging
Yeah.
out with one of his friends recently, and every new person I meet, somehow we get on the subject of psychics and astrology. And she told me, oh my gosh, well, if you are into this stuff, go see my psychic. I drove to this man's house 2 days later.
Where was it?
Beverlywood, and I sat.
Oh, that's not far. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I put all my trust in your friend. I drove up to this man's house, but when I got there, he knew my 2 other psychics, so I knew I was safe. But it's like everything your parents tell you not to do. Don't drive to a stranger's house
who claims to be a
Unless they
psychic.
have P trains.
I told
So-
my team I had an appointment. They were like, "Yeah, we know where you're going."
So what did the psychic tell you to do?
So I walk into Sylvan's home, and there's all these Torahs, all like stacks of them, and he pulls out a chair for me at his dining table. His son's in the background, doors wide open. He's chain smoking, and he had me flip to a random page in the Torah, and then he just started writing things down, and it was all accurate.
Wow.
What was it?
It was some really exciting things about work and my personal life, and just every time I talk to these psychics, I leave the sessions thinking, okay, I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, and it just helps
That's a
me
great
manifest.
feeling.
Yes.
That's a
Yeah,
great
Means
feeling.
you're in
Yes.
alignment.
Yes, and that's a wonderful feeling when you're running your own thing and running a startup and running your own company. To have that reassurance and validation has really helped me as a leader. That's why I'm so tapped into that shit. So
That's a really good point, because I think
Yeah.
one thing that I've really worked hard on, I'm a very forward-thinking person. I think into the future, and I live in the future sometimes as opposed to living in the present. And feeling like I'm on the path and on the journey, whether a psychic tells me or not,
yeah,
is so important to me being able to communicate to them in a way that it can be received.
100%.
Because if I'm like, oh my God, we have to get this done, oh my God, it
Yeah.
doesn't.
Have you gone to see Sylvan?
No, I haven't, should I?
Yeah, I think you should. But I've got a couple that I can.
Was he the
Take your
best?
pick.
You have
They're all different.
should you
They're
do a
all,
marathon? Should we
I
like a
mean,
little psychic marathon?
I've got an entire soccer team of psychics. Like, I keep thinking, like, when I get married, I'm fucked, because my friends are going to just absolutely roast me with, there's no way that, like, every speech isn't going to be like, and then her period of her psychics, like.
Did the
They're
psychic
gonna have
tell
their own
you?
special table at your ceremony.
Oh my God. I mean,
The
they're,
psychic
of
table?
course they'll be invited. They've really, like,
Table 13?
table 13.
Did the psychics tell you that you're going to get married and they're going to do this?
Yeah, they told me when to get married, and they said that they see 3 kids for me, and
3?
3, yeah. I've always wanted 3.
They all say the same thing.
They all say the same thing.
Do you think they
and-
call each other, like, double check their notes?
Well, that's what I do. I double check their notes.
Yeah.
I write things down. I record everything, and I make sure that these guys aren't just scamming me. And
So they
that
don't think you're going to die alone.
I'm not
They
going to.
think you're going to get married. They think
Yes.
you're going to have 3 kids.
They said this is the year. So
This is the year.
yeah,
Wow. That's a lot of
Yeah.
pressure to put on this year.
I'm not
Have you found
putting-
it yet?
I'm not putting pressure on this year. I'm just enjoying my life, and it actually takes the pressure off, because it made me realize,
Because it will happen.
okay, I'm going to be fine.
She needs to come to your event tomorrow night.
Oh, it's a singles event.
Justin single release at a singles.
Justin
Let's
single.
talk about the thought process
Yeah.
behind this, and let's also talk about your single.
Yes. So I have a single. It's like a very fun summer single. It's called Ready to Blow. It's about being in the beginning of a relationship and feeling like you know that you're ready to take some version of a plunge forward, and that person is not giving you the signs. So they're like, sometimes they feel like they're totally in, and sometimes they feel like they don't know, and you're just like, hey, are you ready? Are you going to do this? Are we going to do this? I don't know if you've been there, but I have been there.
Yeah.
Many a time.
Many a times.
Yes.
It's LA.
Yes. And funnily enough, that girl is not I didn't invite her to the event tomorrow.
The girl you wrote the song about?
The girl I wrote the song about, I should invite to the event.
Have I met this girl? Said girl?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
You might know. She's well.
Well, we won't do that.
Yeah. I can tell you who she is
I met
after
one of your
the podcast.
girls in New York
One
when I
of-
first
one
met
of-
you.
one of my
Sorry,
girls?
what your ex? I don't know. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. I like to be. I'm friends with most of my exes.
Do you write songs about all of your exes, like Taylor Swift?
I write songs about a lot of my exes. Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense though. I feel like if I was a musician and had a good voice, that would also be a lot of my,
Well, it's
expression.
it's like a processing of
Yeah.
how to and there's one song that I wrote about that particular ex that might come out at some point.
Does she know? How does that conversation go? Hey, I wrote a song about you. Do you approve?
I mean, kind of. It's so funny because Stargazing is about my college ex.
Oh.
And before it came out, I called her and was like, "Hey, wrote the song about you."
I wrote this huge hit about you.
Yeah, but I didn't know it was gonna be a
Kygo
hit
was
this
going
song.
to be playing.
Yeah, and funnily enough, I've been working on a screenplay about what if my ex sued me for writing that song about her.
Could that happen? Yeah.
Technically, yes. The owner of a letter owns the writer of a letter owns the copyright. So technically, if she wrote the lyrics to Stargazing in a letter to me, and then I took that and made
Is that what
Stargazing.
happened?
It's not what happened.
Oh, okay.
So it's a fictionalized version of what could happen, and all the characters switched around. But there's a fictionalized screenplay version of what if my ex sued me for writing Stargazing about her.
That's funny.
And I probably have to call her again before that gets into theaters,
well,
which
thank
is
God
very
you're on
far
good
away.
terms. Thank God you're on
Yeah,
good
I'm on pretty good terms with most of my exes.
Okay, so this new song called "Ready to Blow" is about
Yes.
an ex as well.
It is.
To be
It
clear.
is technically about an ex.
Okay.
And,
And when's it coming out?
it's coming out on the 15th.
Okay, but
of
tomorrow
May.
is the.
Tomorrow's the release party,
Great.
which we did a week early.
I wish I could come. Sad.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Next time there'll
Next
be
time.
more.
What was the thought process behind the singles party with the single? Is it just
So I got a call from a friend of mine who works at a matchmaking service called Talkify,
okay?
and she wanted to feature me as like an eligible bachelor on their new. They were going to call it Man Crush Mondays, but now they're calling it Matchmaker Mondays. And I was like, I'm flattered. Sure, yeah.
Love.
Feature
I mean,
me.
you were the perfect person to be featured. Literally, like happiest guy. Come on, that would be epic.
So she's like, I want to feature you in this Man Crush Monday series, and then we got talking, and I was like, well, I have this new. Originally it was for Closer. I was like, I have the single. Maybe you could use that, and we could do like some cross promotional stuff, and then we got down the line to, she wanted to throw an event, and I was like, okay, well, why don't we make it a release party because I have the single coming out, and she's like, oh, I love that, a single event.
We love.
Great. So we're on a rooftop in Santa Monica
So fun.
tomorrow, and we're going to do 30 minutes talking about, I'm going to be in conversation with a matchmaker about intentional dating. and then I'm going to do a little performance.
Great.
Yeah.
That's so
It'll be
fun.
fun. I'm sad you're not
so
there.
bummed.
It's okay.
I love that you're also trying to be intentional about dating.
Yeah, how is that for you? What should we switch gears?
No, we're not gonna.
This isn't about you and
This
your dating life?
This is actually about you.
I can talk about my intentionally. I'm an open book.
You're single?
I'm single.
Okay, everyone, Justin's single.
Hello.
Okay, you three. What is
I'm in a
I'm
throuple
changing
with
the
these
subject
three.
real quick before you try to go in on me again. You three. What is the funniest thing that's ever happened to you guys while working together?
Ooh.
Oh God.
We've definitely
Or
had
someone's
some funny
biggest fuck up.
ones.
Yeah.
We could go either
Someone's
way.
biggest fuck up.
That turned out to maybe be funny at the end, or maybe not funny.
How do we talk about this without throwing any third parties under the bus? That's kind of hard.
Yeah.
Who are we? Oh, you don't want to throw the yeah. I think, okay, let me think about this. They asked me on the way up here. Dylan was like, is there anything I shouldn't say? And I was like, no, you can say whatever you want.
I love when people come over and they go, can we curse on this thing? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
Did you?
I
I had Emilio Vitolo on recently, and this guy, like I love him so much. Every other word was like, motherfucker, what the fuck? And then I fucking did, like, it was crazy. It
fucking
actually
love
went
it.
the most viral because of
So we
his
should
potty
start.
mouth.
Yeah, we should start saying this fucking shit the whole time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think of
Funniest
something.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
what do you got?
So
That was me
sometimes
stalling.
when we get the concepts from another partner that we work with that does some ideation with us, we'll have it sometimes the night before, including like sourcing talent. So I got
this is
this
a good one.
box. The
Yeah.
box of cardboard, I was like cutting it into all these different sizes to put the song lyrics on. But I'm like, they're off shooting something in the street, and then I'm like trying to get these signs done, and then I ended up having the other talent that was there, like, here, help me with this, and we got it done, thankfully. But it's just like, sometimes it just comes down to the last second, and you just have to roll with it or get creative the day of, or if something's not working, just like make a hard right and pivot. So I would say that was like not quite a fuck up because we were able to get it done. But I was like on the floor with these markers, like hand drawing these signs, and I'm just like, I need some help. And I gave it to the other guy, I'm like, can you please just like help me get through it? And then they went off around the street to like shoot another concept, and I'm running with the signs. I'm like, wait, like, let's do this concept here. I'm like waving the signs, and then we would have maybe not filmed it, but that was the location we could have shot it at. So I'm like, wait a minute, we just finished these, and then we got it done. So
I thought you were gonna go with they give it to us the night before, and so sometimes they give it to us and they go, oh, you need to cast this because we need. And so for the first shoot that we did, I was like, well, we don't. It's like 12 o'clock at night. We're shooting tomorrow.
You could always call me. I would show up.
Would you come and be in
Of
it?
course, yeah.
Are you sure? Okay, we're gonna go. So what happened was, Julie stepped up and she was in all the content.
Oh my god.
I'm
So-
a professional actor.
The content
Yeah,
girl
she's-
was in the content.
I'm
yes.
in SAG. I'm a professional
Yeah, but that's
actor, I don't
also
mind.
they're very multi-talented. So she actually is a fantastic actress.
Love.
And so, but what's so funny is I'll get DMs from people being like, "Is that your new girlfriend? Like she's so beautiful." I'm like, "No, that's Julie."
I have
She's-
two other funny stories I thought of. One was
She's
when
too odd for me. I
This is
can't help.
Julie.
This is Julie.
two other stories that I feel like we were all cracking up about. One is your dog Elvis, who's here somewhere.
Elvis is having a nice little
Elvis is
slumber
just
on
chilling,
my
yeah.
chair.
you can just
Most
get a
chill
little
dog
quick
ever.
insert
So
of
we got
Elvis.
breakfast burritos last time on Justin's
Oh,
shoot. And then
Yes, about that.
and Elvis was jumping up on the table trying to get two burritos that were like fully wrapped
We were all
in
working. We
tinfoil.
were all like
With
doing stuff.
And I was like, I
sauce,
got it.
by
I
the
got
way.
it.
yeah, yeah,
no.
Don't
yeah, yeah.
worry. Don't worry.
He's like, "Oh, I've got it." He goes, Justin, I got this handled." I go, "Okay, cool."
So I moved the burritos to the center, right? And they're fine, and Elvis can't get them. And then we come back like half an hour later, and Justin had left like a fully unwrapped half of his burrito open on the edge of
With
like the
sauces
table that we
galore.
couldn't see with red and green sauces around. And Elvis ate the entire burrito and also knocked the sauces onto like a fancy white chair.
So wait,
that he has.
it
Did
gets
he
better.
eat the hot sauce?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
we made it into content. We made a bit out of it, and we filmed it and edited it. We were mortified because it's so unlike him. We're like,
I know.
Shucks.
I mean, this dog is the chillest dog I've ever seen in
Yeah.
my
I
life.
know.
unless you have Mexican around, and then he's just a.
And he
Completely
ate.
not
It was like a
hysterical.
large burrito that he
It was
ate, too.
huge.
Oh my god, your poor chair. No.
I know. So I think Dylan probably felt pretty awful.
I just felt really bad.
yeah.
I was also feeling bad for you because you got the blame for it,
I know,
Justin.
but then I can throw it back
Yeah,
at
he
him
said
because
he
why
said
did
he
you
was
leave an
gonna
open
make sure
burrito
it was
there?
fine.
exactly.
That's amazing.
He was like, "I'm gonna clean the. I'm gonna make sure that the burritos and."
Very out of character for the youngster.
So that was one, and then the other one was with the tennis ball in the pan.
Oh yeah, you
yeah.
should have done it, man. Could have
Yeah.
been starting.
So
over.
I knew I didn't want to be holding the pan in this video. I just had a bad feeling about it, like bad, bad omen, right?
My
So
psychic told me not to hold the pan.
our buddy who's on the crew who was helping to film, he's like, "Oh, I'll stand in." And he stands in, and I don't know what overtook Justin. You can speak to it, but Justin took the tennis ball and was like joking around, throwing it at him, but threw
I,
it like
threw
pretty
it
fast.
straight at his stomach, and he looked at me like
Yeah, and he was just like shocked.
he was so shocked that I threw it at him.
Yeah,
Because I was just kind of fucking around.
And I was like,
come
I
from
knew.
And you're
brothers.
like,
I knew.
that's a hard throw. Like
It was a hard throw. Yeah,
Yeah,
like hit him.
like-
But like I come from brothers, so for me, like the
Same.
idea of like, oh, there's a ball, and like,
Yeah.
oh, you throw it at somebody, like wasn't that crazy, but this guy was like, I can't believe you just, and it rattled him for like 20 minutes. And anyways, that was my fuck
And then
up.
he never talked to me again?
No, and then he was even crazier later. We did some other content. He was awesome.
No, he was a great
hardcore
sport.
and
He was a
house,
really, really
basically.
good sport.
That's
yeah.
very funny. Could have ended one of two ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
I could have ended
was
up
cool.
sued. We're trying not to be sued. That's kind of the
I
goal
was
of.
just going to say. Dylan, what advice would you give someone who's looking to become a chief of staff to an artist?
Well, I think the advice I would give is in music, I think every artist's operation is pretty unique. So I don't think there's like any kind of one size fits all advice. I would say I found ways in music to help out other artists just following my gut in terms of like what I'm a fan of. Like that's what has led me to, and ultimately very underground alternative hip hop music that has kind of led me to like where I am now in this really weird way. But with, sparing you all kind of like my life story, like I would say just follow what's in your gut and what you're actually interested in. Like we're talking about music, so you should work with people whose music you actually love, you know? Yeah.
And I'm gonna start making alternative hip hop music now,
You're going to turn
so that he loves the
into
music I
rap.
make. Yeah, I'm gonna start
Turn to
rapping.
rap.
Well, I do love Justin's music, and I've seen, like, I remember back in college, I'm pretty sure I saw you play in like these dive bars in the Lower East Side, like that kind of thing. So it's like it's been really moving to see him play. Like I saw him play at Barclays with Kygo, and like it's just kind of insane.
It is insane.
Yeah, and it's inspiring, and so it's cool. It's cool to be a part of it.
Great answer.
Surround yourself with people that inspire you. You can't go wrong.
Is that your official advice, or is that your comment on?
No, just my comment.
oh,
just my
okay.
2 cents.
I think it's sort of what you just said. It's working for people who you're aligned with and who inspire you and are on a similar creative path maybe, and who you share the same goals with. I feel like when I was working certain jobs, I wasn't as motivated to be the best version of Meghan if I wasn't aligned with the person I was working for.
Right.
I think my last role, when I was there for 6 years, that was different because I felt like that was really when I started to find myself in those years when I was supporting Jen. But if I didn't have the company, I think I'd still be someone's assistant. I loved it. And I loved supporting an actor I loved producing someone's life who I really respected and cared about. I thought it was the best seat in the house. You know, I learned so much, and I would do it all again.
And to be able to influence that growth.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. It was such a great partnership. So I love your guys' partnership. It's nice to see.
Thanks. Yeah. It's been so fun. Like I've only been in LA a couple years, and I'm loving it. I'm loving this year. Yeah, the best so far.
Love. So Julie, what would your advice be to someone who's trying to be a head of social for an artist?
Well, I do have a college degree, but I don't necessarily believe that you have to have one this day and age, as long as you have a really good grasp on you're tuning into social media every single day. Social changes in a blink of an eye. It really even keeps people like me on my toes. You need to be engaging in the communities, knowing the different trends, following certain accounts. Like I'll just throw Gary Vee out there. Like powerful people in the social space know what's going on, be ahead of the curve. Sorry, I'm doing a lot of this right now, but I just mean business, okay? Mean business. So I would also be very proactive. Don't wait for somebody to say yes to you. Go out and get client accounts. Like some of my early client accounts were like mom and pop kind of restaurants and filming their food content, going into the kitchen and doing almost like some UGC work. Start a portfolio, because then that's going to grow and expand your business, and then potentially pitch to new clients. So you need a portfolio to get more clients and get more work, right? So I would suggest that, and then keep track of all of your metrics, because there's one thing to make content, it's another thing to actually make content that's expansive and engaging. And why would someone pay you money where it's not going anywhere? And there's so much that goes into it, but what's built into the platform is everything that you need to succeed, including the algorithm. Take a look at the insights, get the numbers, see what's working and what's not, and then make pivots with your content and provide that for your client so that you can make certain adjustments on your next shoot and help them grow and expand. And that's what's going to grow and expand your business. So I'm a really big data nerd. love numbers because that's ultimately like what is going to feed you into like the best content that you can possibly get for your audience. So that would be my advice. Like, just
Very good
go
advice.
Go get it. Don't stop working and just put yourself out there and build your portfolio.
See, I thought you were going to say only work with people who cry when you first meet them.
Oh, well, that too.
Yeah.
I was sold.
I also love you don't technically have to go to college. Not you coming on here to talk to all the younger kids.
Yeah.
Skip college.
Just
It's
skip
fine.
it.
Having a degree does help because it does give you, like, my degree is in journalism and public relations. I did some theater. But it's like getting to know the psychology between the consumer and like having a background and strong knowledge in marketing is very helpful in the social space.
I'm sure. I mean, as a recruiter, I'm going to now tell you guys definitely go to college because when I look at your resume, I need to see a college degree. It will separate you. Go to college. But that's amazing advice.
Thank you.
Go to college because you'll meet people that you want to work with in college.
Yes. Yes. Way to tie it back, Justin. Way
Yeah,
to tie
always,
it back.
always trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, Justin, what's your advice to someone who wants to grow up and become a musician or tap into the music industry or be a Justin Jesso and go sing on stage with Kygo?
Go into finance. No, I'm kidding. I have 2 pieces of advice that I generally give, and the first one is fitting in this context, which is work with the people around you. I think one of the things that, not that I made the mistake of early, but that I think everybody thinks is that they need, if I just had that big manager, or if I just had that big writer that I could work with, if I could just get in the room with Ryan Tedder, I'd be great, right? And for me, I learned very early on, working with actually a colleague of ours, that the music that I did and the projects that I worked on with the people who were my peers, who were around me, who were climbing that same journey, that passion and that whatever that product ended up being was the thing that moved the needle for me. So the advice that I have is, if you have a friend, if you're trying to be an artist and you have a friend that's a producer, don't go and work with them. Don't go, I don't know because of this, that, or the other, or I'm going to save my time to try to get to this next rung. Like, work with the people around you because you're going to create something really special and meaningful that moves the needle with those people because they're going to care as deeply as you do. So that's the first piece of advice.
Such good advice.
And the second piece of advice is, funnily enough, also very fitting for this, which is get an internship. One of the ways that I was able to forge my way through this industry was I was an intern. And I worked at EMI Music Publishing, and I worked for Jake Ottman and Rich Christina, and those were my first 2 bosses. And I was a kick-ass intern. And when I graduated, those were the guys who started putting me in sessions as a writer. And so you need to be able to make the work with creative people that have the same vision and passion and drive you have. And then you need to be able to manifest that work into I don't think manifest is the right word. You have to be able to leverage that work with industry connections. And the way that you do that is by being of service. And so if you're in a position where you're of service and people respect the service that you're giving them, then ultimately those people are going to turn around and say, okay, what do you want and how can we help? And that's where my career started, when I was able to make that work and make that content with peers of mine and then leverage the connections that I had because I was of service to them.
Period. I mean, I think going to work for someone who you respect in that same industry that you would like to eventually be in and put in all the years of the annoying admin work and do the things that you don't want to do, earn the trust, and then when you graduate from that job, they're here to help.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know that I'm sure you have a very similar story or stories.
Yeah.
With, I mean, we even talked about our mutual friend.
Yeah.
Who,
I have so many mentors.
Yeah.
I labeled them that. I said, you're my mentor. But I talk to all of my mentors on a weekly basis. They've sent me clients. They've sent me business. They recommend me to people. They connect me to people. And that's the majority of my job is to meet people and earn their trust so they would like and give them the best experience. But I wouldn't be in this seat without my mentors at least opening the door a little bit for me, saying, okay, go talk to Meghan.
And it's because you're so good at what you do. It's because you demonstrated that you're so good at what you do that they have that implicit trust with you, to trust you to continue to fill that role for them.
Yeah, it's been fun. But Anyways, at the end of this, we usually either prank phone call someone or do like a little bit. So
Oh, great.
we could.
Want to
you
call my
could-
mom?
We could prank your mom, or
Sure.
you could. I don't know. Do you want to like sing something? It's up to you.
Would you rather? I can do both. You want me to do both?
We could do both.
You
Yeah.
don't
Do you
have
want to do a little
keyboard
bit
by
from
any
your
chance, do you?
from your new single? I don't know.
Okay, I'll do. I can do that. Do you want me to like cue up the track? What do I want to do? Well, I'll do a cappella.
Okay, guys.
do-
He has the best voice ever.
Here's the song I'm known for most. Ready? And I will still be here, stargazing. I still look up, look up, look up for love.
Woo!
There we go. There's that. The new song, Ready to Blow. Oh man. Oh yeah, you want to
Cool.
preview the track? Oh, you can
Yeah.
preview the track. Okay. This is the first preview of Ready to Blow. Before it's out, I'm gonna play you the chorus. It's about you. It's really fun.
It's really good.
This is the edit of all the heads doing weird shit. Yeah. Anyway.
I love it.
Thanks.
It's so catchy. It's so good.
Thank you.
I can't wait to play that at a party.
Yeah, we could play it at
Or
Kelly's.
like while
There
I'm
we go.
getting ready. It's
Yeah.
so fun. It's
It's-
a good getting ready song.
It's a great getting ready song. It's a great workout song.
Yeah. It's amazing. Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you guys so much. I feel so honored that you played that for the first time on my couch.
Yeah. I feel so honored to be on
Congrats.
the couch.
Sick.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great work. Guys,
Thanks for
great
having
work.
us on.
Thank you.
Of
Appreciate
course. I think it's just so cool to highlight the behind the scenes of there's so much that goes into teams across
Yeah.
our industry and so many different players. So it's fun to highlight the different players. Well, thank you guys so much. This was really fun.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you.
Of course. See you. I just waved to you guys. I meant to wave over
Bye.
here. See you guys.